Hi class, my name is Jade and this is my PowerPoint on comparing and contrasting the expectations of individuals and institutions in the medieval times and the 21st century Americans and the American institutions. The expectations of individuals in medieval times were predetermined by their social class, and the institutions in the medieval times played a big role in that. So everything in the medieval times were limited to the individuals, so their expectations and roles were already put in place and very straightforward for each individual depending on their social class. Expectations of individuals included fulfilling assigned roles within their social class and helping others with their tasks also. The social structures were rigidly hierarchical. They were strict, and the individuals had limited mobility or change. They were arranged by people and things by their level of importance. The roles and opportunities were mainly determined by birth and social standing. The Catholic Church held a lot of power, and its religious influence was influenced. Well, the Catholic Church held a lot of power, and its religious influence influenced moral values, beliefs, and the daily life and expectations of each individual. And they were very adamant about obedience and conforming to the tradition. The social mobility was also limited, and the choices were determined by the expectations of the social class. Citizens were expected to complete their duties within their social class and contribute to the secureness of the feudal system. The individual's goals for themselves were limited to social class expectations also. Education was mainly focused on religious and classical studies, and individuals owed loyalty and service to the ones that were above them in exchange for protection and land. If you were born into a poor family, you were expected to be a peasant and work the land. And if you were born into nobility, you were expected to rule and fight. The institutions consisted of the Catholic Church, the feudal system, universities, medieval guilds, and nobility. So the Catholic Church was a dominant force providing spiritual guidance, education, and social order, maintaining political and social influence with kings and other leaders seeking its support. The feudal system was a system that defined the military obligations and relations between the lord and his vassals and involves the granting of fiefs. Universities offered advanced studies in theology, law, and medicine. Medieval guilds were associations of artisans organized to regulate the quality, quantity, and price of goods produced and the number of affiliated apprentices and journeymen. The nobility was expected to provide protection and stability. The expectations of individuals and institutions in the 21st century are way more better, and the citizens and individuals have more freedom than the medieval times. So expectations, the individuals had more freedom to choose their own paths in life. The social structure is more adaptable and is based on individual achievements, and they emphasize the pursuit of personal goals. The principles are essentially neutral and democracy, having the concept of equality and the right to choose one's own path. Individuals have more opportunity for improvement, for social mobility through education, work, and starting their own business. So everyone has equal amount of chance to work and get their education. The success is based on hard work and talent. Education, careers, and lifestyle choices are not limited and are accessible to everyone. Everything is diverse and based on individual choice. There are more options for religion and who the individuals want to worship and where they want to worship. The institutions and the expectations of individuals were emphasized on individual rights and freedom and to pursue their own goals. so there were no strict laws. The individuals are expected to respect others and their different perspectives. The institutions include the educational system, including colleges, schools, vocational and practice skills. The educational system is expected to provide quality education and prepare students for work and higher education. And the government is also a part of the 21st century America government. Although there are many differences between the medieval times individuals and 21st century Americans and their institutions, the comparison between both are the medieval times and 21st century Americans have had the influence of powerful institutions when it came to their choices in life and have been involved with social hierarchy. Although people in the medieval times had restraints on their life choices and the paths they wanted to choose, the 21st century had more freedom, but they still both had constraints of social and economic structures. How did people in both time periods imagine their choices and what they would be able to accomplish in life? So, in medieval times, the people probably imagined their choices and what they would be able to accomplish in life as having set roles and responsibilities for them. So they probably never thought that they would have an opinion in their choices or roles that they played. Um, they probably thought that they would have limited education, if any at all, and limitations on opportunities for personal advancement or being able to voice their opinions. Individuals had limited choices regarding their occupation, marriage, and other important decisions. So they probably thought that that's the way their future would be until they were not there anymore. And for the 21st century Americans, everything was pretty much always free for them. They had more freedom in their choices. So, and there are more resources, technology, and a lot of opportunities to expand and do more things than there were in medieval times. So individuals can freely pursue their passions and are encouraged to do so with no limitations. There's really no limitation on education for individuals. So I think people in the 21st century America imagine their choices and what they would be able to accomplish as them building successful careers, contributing to society in positive ways, and focusing on personal growth and achievements. Thank you all for listening to my presentation.